morning, YouTubers. Out for a little ride. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Nice and cool. Got my mesh on. Wind's blowing through it. A little chill. A little smell of a little skunk. Oh boy. How many of you have done that? Run by a skunk that's just got whacked on the road. Get a helmet full of that junk for several miles. So thick you almost smell it on you when you get back home. Gotta watch through here, deer thick. Man, when we was kids, talk about a blast. I think we looked forward to 4th of July. Well, the only thing you look forward to more than that was maybe your birthday and Christmas. The 4th of July, back when I was a kid, was something. I mean, wow. The restrictions on fireworks were almost non-existent. I mean, I remember we lived right on the edge of the city limits in Denver, just 2 blocks out of the northern city limits. That's where I grew up at. And since you weren't in the Denver city limits, you could buy just about anything you wanted. Now this was back in the late 50s, early 60s. Back when I was in grade school. Late 50s, when I was in grade school. Wow. Anyway, you could buy just about whatever you wanted. There was nothing for us to have a gross of M80s and a couple grosses of cherry bombs stuffed in your bedroom, you know, in a box. I remember I was pretty young back then, but I had older brothers, and they were always buying fireworks. I mean, especially my brother Jim, he was a fireworks nut. Man, he was always buying M80s by the tons. There was nothing like going down to his room and grabbing a couple M80s, going over the old hill and blowing up some fish or blowing up a stone. Blowing your hand off, just about. Which leads me to a safety story for this 4th of July. I've experienced that. Well, a lot of people have small fireworks go off in their hands, close to them. Well, when I was 14, I was setting on fireworks with my brothers, and my oldest brother, in fact, was just back on leave in the military. Just had to be back in the, I'm thinking of early to mid 60s, and we were setting off M80s. We lived on a hillside, and we had ponds below the hill, just not too far, and we used to throw M80s and cherry bombs over the side of the hill there, watch them blow up in the air. We used to shoot them at a slingshot, which was fun, and get them up there 100 foot in the air or whatever, and have them blow off in the air. Well, my brother was lighting one for me, had it in my hand. I was going to throw it up in the air. You know, this particular M80 was in a box with another gross M80s. and it had been jostled around quite a bit. And back in those days, a lot of the powder leaked out of those things. Well, to make a long story short, I got ready to throw it. My brother lit it. The fuse was coated with gunpowder that had leaked out of other M80s. And by the time I got it back to by my ear to fling it forward, boom, she went off. And lots of pain. Lots of pain. It was a pretty nasty situation. Ended up blowing the end of my index finger off of my right hand, which they managed to get most of it back on there. And did permanent damage to my right eardrum, and didn't do my shirt any good. Blew big holes, almost blew the front of my shirt off. Powder burns all over my face, my chest. Part of my finger up on the front porch. The moral of this story, folks, is be safe this 4th of July. Think about what you're doing. You know, it doesn't take much. Put out an eye, damage your ear, lose a hand, a finger. Take much at all. So be safe. Enjoy your celebrations. You know, enjoy this great American tradition we have, celebrating our birth as a nation. But use some good thinking, some common sense. And be safe. You know, you want to be there for your kids, family, and your friends. So just think before you act, you know. And I'm at the age now where I'd rather go see a good fireworks display than be a part of it myself, you know. There's something about sitting back and relaxing. It just is a lot of fun. Well, up on 4th of July. Everybody's going to go out and do their own thing. Have a good time. Boy, we used to spend a lot of money on that. Jeez. I mean, as a kid, you spent a lot of money. But it was really cheap. I mean, in reality, what you could buy back when I was a kid versus what you could buy now. You know, if you spent $100 on fireworks back then, geez, you had enough for the year you were in and next year too. Now $100 will buy you hardly anything. Probably get a little gasoline, get on home. Left kind of early today on my weekend ride. Better half sleep in.